see, streaming? I think so. Ah. Alright, let's get straight to the overhead view. I've rearranged a whole bunch of stuff in this section that you can't see. Hopefully we can use this as a bit of a test. Let's see if things work out. Alright, so this is a USB powered insulin cooling fridge. Basically it's just a pelter device. Small cooling recess in there. That's about it. Fairly simple really. But anyway. Yep. Right, yeah. So everything comes out. I've already taken the screws out. Look at this battery disconnected. It's got a battery backup that'll last about 8 hours or provide 8 hours of cooling. Okay, that does not come off. Just try and disconnect everything I can. Okay, that needs to come out too. That would be the display cable. So I've got a bit of hair in there, but that's not a problem. Anyway, it's been working fine, and then one day the alarm went off and it was stuck at some ridiculously low temperature. And I just noticed there is a temperature bead down here. But I would imagine that's the ambient temperature. But we actually have problems with the internal temperature. Just find a suitable screwdriver. That's not going to work. It's too... Seriously? Ah, there we go. Hey, Kenneth McNutt. Hey, Q's. Greg. House of Moth. Yeah, looks like we've got a decent audience here today. So, the hidden third screw that I didn't see. Keeping with it, House of Moth. Just, yeah, plenty of things to keep me occupied. There's a fair bit of dust in here, but that is not going to be the problem. I'm going to guess that, based on the behavior of what I've experienced here, that we've actually got a disconnected resistor in the cooling assembly, or it's corroded from the moisture or something like that. You know, just, I mean, the board itself is probably, most of this board is all about the making the fancy display do things. Just knock out the dust here. It's been an interesting day so far. Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure, see, that's the temperature sensor. So we've got power, fan. The power will be driving the pelter, whatever. But see, what they've done is they've expanded foam. So they probably set this up, put the sensor in there, and then just go and fill it up with foam to provide the insulating capability that we need. But it's unfortunate that it subsequently means that it's not going to be an easy task to get that sensor out. I would say it's resting against this metal inlay here. Hey, Thunderbird 6. Okay. Well, maybe I can gain access to it if I take these off. I highly doubt I'll gain access, but I really do not want to have to start chowing out all of that polyurethane foam. At least it's easy enough for me to refill it. You know, I just get one of those cans of polyurethane foam that you can buy at the hardware store and, you know, fill it back in. So really what we're going to have here, we'll take these off, we'll just, it'll just be the heater element, or the pelter element. Speak not properly today. It'll probably have some thermal compound on it. There we go. So I mean that's pretty standard. But yeah, they have, damn it. Now looking at here, there's a seam line all around. So I may be able to maybe separate like a cake tin. Maybe. I wonder if I can get the display off. I don't want to accidentally mash up the display. Not sure. I think they've got a bar running down the middle there. Let's see if I can separate that. I mean, worst case scenario, I just have to buy another one. The amount of money that it has saved me on insulin means that I could buy one of these every probably 6 months and be well ahead. Okay, looks like they've probably done the same here. Okay, maybe there's screws under here. Yes, they did that trick, did they? Huh. I just need to buy myself a screw container. I cleared out 2 this morning, come on. There we go. This is a bit of an overkill, taking these screws out, just so I can detach the display section lid, but I don't want to accidentally snap it or damage the LCD panel, or LED panel rather. Oh, no, I was right, LCD panel. Yeah, this is for the kitty cats, or one of them. Okay, yeah, what do they got here? They've got styrofoam. Okay. Interesting. Alright, your magnet. Because what was happening before is I would get an ampule of the... Well, these screws are very weakly magnetic. I'm kind of curious about that. I mean, this is a very strong magnet, and they're only just hanging on. Well, glad they used this method. Yeah, Ron, I keep it in the air-conditioned room, so it does help. Oh, okay, so that would be for the clock and time. That is pulled out slightly there, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Can I just pull those pins out? Q's, it is a cooler, but it's a solid state cooler. So what happens is when you apply a voltage onto this device, one side gets hot and the other side gets cold. So it's sort of like a temperature separator sort of thing. They're not very efficient at all, but in terms of convenience, well, they're very convenient. Okay, I'm trying to understand how they've done this. Crikey, mate. I almost feel like I have to straighten these and then push them back out. But these are not up to that task. Damn it. I really didn't want to have to leave that lid on there. And all of this in here would just be a bit of an aluminium kind of heatsink. I don't think it's very thick at all. I don't think they'd spend that much money on it. Yep, Paul's starting to damage stuff. We have one screw still on the table. I've got all screws in here that I know of. I'll put a resistance check across that just to see what it's showing up. Oh. Hey Rob, I'll be very surprised if this is anything. Okay, so it's a 10. Shit. Alright. So it's a 10K, probably NTC, and we can check that. We'll put some hot air and see if the resistance goes down. Yep, there you go. You can see the resistance dropping, so it is a 10K NTC. And it looks like it's functioning alright, so a fault could be on the board itself. Probably a good thing I checked. Or it could be intermittent, which would be even more likely. Yeah, let's have a look at the board. Still, it's fun to disassemble it. Hey Jessica, welcome. The nice thing is they're fairly efficient, these things, even though the cooling device itself is not that efficient. In fact, it's terrible. The device itself, once it is down to temperature, does hold its temperature quite well. Cues, if you're using... sorry, I just got my damn cables snared here. If you're using the meter on its own and you're just pressing the buttons to change modes and things like that, then that shouldn't be a problem. I am a little disappointed that it locks itself out when you start having remote access on it. I've complained about it to them, but they're just sort of like, why would you need to do that? And it's like, are you people kidding me? It's like, do you use test equipment at all? It's like, no. Alright, so let's have a look. Let's see, big chunky cool fan, battery, okay, and it even says NTC, how nice. So why would the 10K NTC start misbehaving? No board view. Yeah, maybe I should make one. What, the right one? Battery, NTC. Alright, so we've got there'll be a 10k resistor there as well. This R7, and it'll be acting as a voltage divider. So it's a very simple setup that they've got going. You have, well, that's to ground. Okay, so you have the NTCs between the rail and the sense, and then that other fixed 10k resistor is from the sense down to the ground. And so as the resistor changes, then the voltage is going to change into the microcontroller. Now, hopefully it is. So here we go. No, second one in. Oh, great, you mongrel. Yeah. Great. So it comes into this who knows what chip. And that's going to suck if that's no good. Because that really does mean then it's essentially non-fixable. The only way I'd be able to fix this in that case would be to, well, basically redesign it. Put my own microcontroller there, but it'd be too much work to try and retrofit this. I'll be better off simply using the chassis as it is and creating my own entirely. It's just unusual for it to fail like that. So we've got new, what's this? Fluff on that capacitor. Let's see if we've got any other faulty parts. We'll check the value of that 10k resistor, but I don't think that's going to be the fault. Yeah, big clav and those reversals. In my case, like I said, it'd just be easier to design a whole new circuit. Let's see. So that's a. I always thought O1C was 10k. I'm going to hot air that, rotate it off, and see if I'm wrong. Cues, that's probably just because I've rearranged things. At some point I'll get that sorted out. Yeah, maybe I can try buffering. Ah, it has got buffering, okay. Let's see if this is any better. And we should not be doing that sort of temperature on this portal board. So we're just going to rotate this resistor off its pad so that we can get its true value. Let's see, is it still tearing? Is the tearing better now? Is it fixed? And I am correct, that is 10k. Alright, that definitely concerns me then. That really... I am thinking that the controller's buggered. The reason why I'm thinking the controller is buggered is because this would just be going into a analog digital converter, like on your normal microcontroller, and your input impedance on that should be, well, very low. Very high rather. So the fact that we're down at 1k, that, yeah. I just changed the, OBS so that it wasn't, buffering. Yeah. Anyway, I changed the mode, so hopefully it's better. So that makes me think that this thing here is being cactusified, which sucks. We'll take the chip off and see how it behaves. As in, see how the resistance of that junction behaves. And these are such big chips. We're going to melt the plastic. You know I am. Yeah, there it goes. It's already melting. We'll put some shields up. All I changed was... let's see. Yeah. It was buffering. It had buffering enabled, which is not something I normally do. And I've disabled the buffering. So there you go. Yeah, normally I do not put buffering on any of my video inputs because it causes all sorts of dramas. I remember when we used to have that drifting audio sync problem? That was buffering. So I don't know why it is with OBS under my particular instance of Linux, but it hates doing buffering. Alright. Ah, you son of a gun. Oh well. Could be worse. Okay, I just gotta trace this again. Let's see a second. So it's that goes into that pin there. So this third pin that should pretty much just read 10K now. Yeah, so it reads 10K. Which is, like I said, bad news because that means that the controller has died. Something's internally shorted. I don't know why it would do that, but it's no good. So essentially this whole device is now dead. I'm gonna have to buy another one, but I may consider designing a replacement board. No, you don't. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Ow! Apparently metal gets hot when you heat it. Apparently. Got the wrong damn tweezers. And yes, I know there's a bridge there. Okay, let's check that resistance again. Hello, who's talking to me? Ah, jeez. Okay. Seriously. Doesn't matter though, we've got these reversed. Yeah, so we're down a half a K. That's really not good at all. So basically it means the internal stage on that pin, something's happened. Wah, wah. And yeah, there's no way I can really replace that short of getting another one, and it kind of defeats the point of it. We'll plug it back in, see if we can get any sort of behaviour, but I don't have hopes for this. I mean, seriously, what on earth would cause it to fail like that? The only thing I can possibly think of is a dodgy USB power or something like that. Right, just find ourselves a micro USB. One of the more rare things for me to have around here. Okay. So I'm not sure what temperature that's reading there, because it's not even right. There's no way it's 13 in there. That's okay. My set temperature. Yep. That is reading the external temperature. Let's plug this thing back in. What I could do is I can just rig up an AVR using the peripherals it's got, and I can just simply make the AVR drive the fan and that if I need to. But then I keep sort of coming back to the fact that it would be better off for me to just simply do a whole board and do it properly. I wouldn't need anything much more than, well, a tiny 48 should do it. Bit of an overkill. Okay, fans off. Yeah, see, it's complaining now because the temperature's too high and it can't get it down. I'm assuming the pelter works. Maybe I've got it all backwards. Okay. Alright, in most of these cases, these are 12-volt units. So what we can do is we'll put 12 volts onto it and see what happens. It might go pop, it might not. How am I going to get 12 volts into that? Current limited, so that's not too high. Hey Sergi, I'm fairly sure it's dead, Kenneth, based on the fact that the input is very low resistance. It's not something I would expect. Normally on an ADC input you want at least a couple of 100k. It's not even getting to that. It's straight down to 1k or so. Okay, this is really not a good idea, Paul. Actually, it might be easier if I just eject these pins. Okay. And the way to eject the pins is you crush down the lock. Try again. Oh, come on now. Big aim. I also don't want to suddenly pierce my finger. That's not pleasant. Gotcha. Funnily enough, in this instance, doing the reverse polarity on this won't really harm it. All that happens is that you just flip the hot and the cold side when that happens. It's rather neat how that works. Of course, it does mean you'll be boiling your insulin. So, like if you go when you see the car ones, the ones that sit in your car and they've got that heat or cool option, all it is, that switch is just reversing the polarity to the unit. Okay. Now, well, here goes anything. Okay, so we're putting in half a watt. Now I should start feeling it one side or the other. We're either going to get real hot. Yeah, I can definitely feel it getting colder there. reason why I chose about half of what is I sort of figured that's your entry level on USB, although it should be running up to 5 watts. Yeah, let's see if this works. Okay, let's put the power on and see what happens. Relatively speaking, oh come on, don't do that to me. I'll flip this side up. Let's see, let's sort of push that current up a bit more. Yeah, you can see the heat starting to come through now. The reason why the cold doesn't show up is because I'll expand the. Let's see, can I? So you can see this very center here is quite cold. I'll put my fingertips on it, and it, yeah, immediately is gone back to cool. Whereas I can put my fingertips on the edge, and you can see they remain there. Anyway, so all that means is we know that it's working. So we can't blame the cooling device or heating device. Choose your terminology. Actually, you know, now that you mention it, yeah, if we hook up the board, we'll probably see that there's a hotspot developing in the controller. The next trick of the day is, there it is. I was going to say, where is this gone? Yeah, we know you're complaining. Alright, not where I thought the heat would be. What's going on there? It could just be a shiny spot. Ow. That is really annoying, that beeper. I guess it's meant to be. Alright, these shiny... There's little shiny pads. That's just reflection. But the heat up in the middle there, that actually... Not quite sure what to think of that. Let's put the void... Okay, that is very strange. I've got a problem. I need to be able to get a gauge on the alignment here, and I can't. Okay, it's fairly close. Okay, so the diode is what is heating up there. But yeah, in this case it's the diode that's heating up, and that's part of that boost circuit. And that might be to be expected, because it might be what's driving the fan, because the fan's probably a 12 volt fan. Q's, I don't have a link for the software because it's written and it only works on Linux. And so I was going to have it commercially produced, but unfortunately I wasn't able to generate drivers for it for Windows, and so the commercial viability kind of went down the gurgler, unless of course you're on Linux, in which case it might be useful. I don't think the diode's a problem at all. I think it's just a normal, that's normal heat, because like I said, this fan will be 12 volts, I bet. And so what's happening is the boost converter is being driven in order to provide power for that fan. So you 12 volt? No, you're 5 volt. Paul Daniels just got proven wrong. Damn, that's annoying. I'll check the voltage on that diode. I don't like it when I got proven wrong. Nah, Rob, you've been busy as anything, and it was a bit of a disaster. It's not your fault that they made it like that. I mean, I haven't done much better with my side. Alright, I will... let's see. I'll power this back up and I'll check the voltages. Damn it, I need a longer cable here. Maybe I have to put up the damn beeping again. Ow. Note to self, do not put fingers in the fan. Alright. Sorry about the beeping. Kind of puts the pressure on you. .62. So it's not really doing any boosting at the moment. Hmm. 4.24. 24. .4, 2.3, okay. Shush. Damn it. Had to come back, didn't it? The annoying thing is I can't even actually induce it to run the cooler. If I disconnect the NTC, it still doesn't do anything for me, so. Unfortunately, that's a bit of a dead end. But on the upside, we do have a a chassis that we can use. So maybe I can repurpose it, build a new circuit for it or something like that. Yeah, the circuit is very quick at reading. The meter is quick at reading. Certainly vastly better than the one I had before. The one I had before would do all sorts of weird stuff. Oh, but at least we know the sensor's working, the cooler heater's working, the fan's working, the beep is working. Yeah, we've got this nice battery pack here. What is this? Oh, okay, this is what that boost would be for. Because the pack is this is all in parallel. So it's only 3.7 volts, so that's when the boost would be coming in, at least on one of those circuits. Okay, that is not going to be the right screw. Now the reason why I know that, because that was attracted, and nor is that. And there's 3 that should, there we go. And I don't think any more should be attracted. Yeah, no more attracted. The 3 there go to the circuit board. And the rest of them, for some reason, are non-magnetic. I don't know why. It will certainly not be Arduino time, it will be Atmel AVR time. Although these days, of course, it is microchip AVR, but I am glad, at least when they did acquire Atmel, that they didn't kill the whole AVR lineup. I mean, that would have been market suicide anyway if they'd done that. But for a bit there, we were worried that they would kill the AVRs in order to favour the PIC chips. Yeah, Nusacat, I was kind of wondering if that might be it. Let's say this much, it's annoying to try and handle them though. Hey Sonia? The biggest pain will be the fact that we'll lose probably the functionality of that nice display. And so you go through all the thoughts and plans and things like that, and you end up going, stuff it, just buy another one. But the trouble is that it may end up dying as well. Like I said, think of any compelling reason why that microcontroller should have died like that. Maybe I'll just have to do without the pretty interface. I could try to replace it with something like a 16 by 2. Mind you, this size, maybe an 8 by 2. Wait, I think they're about 100. Oh, I can't remember now. They're comparatively cheap. I'll go check. Okay, they're a little more than I remember. And it seems like they've changed the model around. It's different to the one I've got now. Anyway, here we go. Anything between 130 to up to 200. That's a good question. I didn't see whether there was a microcontroller driving the screen. Given that it's hard to say. It might just be a microcontroller in the display, and they're talking, bit banging their communication to it. And some of these lines will have to be push buttons as well. Yeah, I should have looked at that better. Should have, but I didn't. Damn it. What would be nice is if you could create a replacement board, like a board that you just simply drop into here. Interesting, it's even got a relay there. That's pretty cool. I wonder what that's for. I suppose they use the relay for hard switching of the power off or on or whatever. Anyway, yeah, it'd be nice if you could develop a board that you just simply drop in directly as a replacement. I've got an extra screw here. Ah, there it is. Staring right at me. But yeah, I'll definitely say I'm disappointed. In the interim, I will have to buy a replacement one. There's no two ways about it. I can't not have the fridge anymore. I mean, it costs me. I'm trying to think now. So, well, anyway, insulin costs quite a bit because it's not a human having this insulin. Because it's a kitty cat. There's understandably, no medical assistance in terms of the money required to pay for the insulin. So I've got to pay full price on my insulin. And that is surprisingly expensive stuff. Especially when it doesn't last that long sometimes. Like if you let it get hot or you shake it around accidentally, you gotta go get it replaced. Alright. This is eBay. There'd be no warranty to speak of. Warranty is for people who don't use eBay. Okay, that's it. Well, we couldn't fix it. Hey, James. But yeah, that's unfortunate. At least I got a nice battery pack brick. It's quite impressive, 8 hours on the life on that. I would say the circuitry would be significantly simpler if we didn't have the battery backup. Because you wouldn't have to have the boost circuit or anything like that. And obviously you're going to need a charge circuit. So there's a charge circuit, there's a boost circuit, the actual switchover circuit, like when there's no USB power, that's easy enough. That's just a diode. But yeah, bugger. Oh, and it's also got DC input, like if you actually have a plug pack or something like that. Well, as Dave Jones would say. Unfortunate outcome. In the meantime, I'll just keep using the household fridge, which really is not a good idea. Is there anything else I can fix? Oops, that was wrong. It was brand new, but I'd say I mean, the manufacturer's warranty would be in China, so again, by the time I spend trying to chase that down, it becomes cheaper for me to just buy it. Let's see. Computers to fix, fix computers. Computers cannot fix. Got a horrible 928 here that I cannot for the life of me. No CPU activity on it. I don't think I really feel like dealing with that. I've got a lot of those. Let's see. I got a 1502 here actually. Well, getting them's not a problem. Like I said, just get it off eBay. I've moved my infrared my barcode scanner to up here now. Okay, just undo this bottom panel off screen. By the way, how's the audio been going? No one's really complained. I'm probably going to jinx myself now. But because I have moved the computer from just over here to much higher up on the wall, I am kind of on the lookout to see whether I'm getting any dropouts. Oh great, that screw's threaded. Fantastic. And people asking questions about MacBooks just as we're talking about doing a MacBook. So is that what we've got? It's fan spinning, full speed, CPU. What is going on with this thing? It's been glued together. I cannot get the back panel off this thing. Again, this is a 1502. It's not something you shouldn't be able to get. Ah, here we go. Sticky. Ew. Alright. That does make me shiver in anticipation. Oh, wait, the mate. What the? This is a 1425. Not a 1502. Yep. Right. Well, that just changes my mood entirely. 1425. What the hell am I doing with the 1425 on my workbench? These things are mostly banned along with 1534s. Is there any way around ghosting images? Not that I'm aware of. I don't even know about that problem. Okay. So, well, yeah. 1425. I mean, they're not the worst laptop by any means. I mean, the 1534 definitely kicks its butt. But this is already suffering one of the first issues, which is the battery packs failing. And you just can't get good battery packs for these anymore. And someone is spamming my thingamajig. So, 510. The 1425 was like one of those machines. It was a bit of an odd machine. It was both new and old. It's like no one actually had any cohesive idea of what they were doing with it. They just slapped everything together. Hmm. It seems like they... What? It seems like it actually has been changed. That's weird. A 25 date. I mean, it's not that the no, there's. I'm not even going to try and justify, but there's a lot of quirky things about this one. You. There's a lot of dust, and the dust has probably collected moisture, and there's going to be corroded bits and pieces here and there. But my biggest concern is the fact that, oh look, there's a bug. My biggest concern is the fact that I fixed this up, the battery's going to be dying very quickly after. Guess we'll do what we can. And it's such a weird battery. Oh, stop doing that. There you go. Everything is just weird about this computer. The problem is that the fridge moves too much. Like, you know, you're opening the door, shutting the door, and it shakes the insulin around. You don't want that. You don't want your insulin shaken. Must be stirred. What is going on here? I should be able to take this off. I was well and truly stuck down. And the whole two screw thing is... I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's like some mad genius, someone who really, really knew their stuff and understood about how to prevent various bad things happening with batteries and reconnecting all that. It's like someone went completely overboard, designed the perfect battery interconnect system in terms of preventing issues or whatever, But in terms of practical matters, it was completely annoying and not much use at all. This is what you end up with when you let people who want to do things perfect design stuff. It's like they do this perfect stuff, but it really doesn't work out in reality most of the time. Not that I'm a fan of the current system either, where they've got that broad flat screw just on the slightly flexible circuit board. I do wish they'd just bring back what they had before, which was, of course, the normal push-in connector. Don't know why they had to mess with what was already a good thing. It's the trouble when people have to justify their paycheck by, well, let's design something different. And these 1425s are a major pain in the butt to pull apart. Sorry, Google's going to demonetize me at this rate. Oh well, nothing unusual. And, okay. Sometimes these cross flexes get damaged. That can cause it to slow down. We're just taking the whole thing out because at this age, with that amount of dust floating around, it honestly could be anything. It could be SMC, it could be a sensor fault, or it could just be a piece of junk that's built up. The fans aren't clogged, so I can't blame that. Yeah, seriously over-engineered. I fight with these sort of people in the software world a lot, where they produce these marvelous, or they, create marvelous code and stuff like that, but it's basically useless or excessive, and because of that, no one uses it. I know there was a chap that I didn't have to work with directly, but it was over in South Africa, and he was incredibly smart, and he would produce these generic template code, or code that you could effectively use for so many other things. Basically, like C templates, vectors and lists and things like that. But the trouble is, you had to put so much effort into setting it all up and everything like that because it was so generic that it was less work to just simply produce your own specific version, and that would cause a great deal of contention because he would write all these libraries which technically were great, but no one really wanted to use them because it was a pain in the butt to use them. And that pretty much summarizes a lot of things. Okay, the SSD. I don't know why it's not clogged up. All I know is it's not clogged up. Yeah, you got to find that balance between making things generic or useful for more than just one purpose versus sorry, need to focus. It's a balance. That's all I can say. God damn, this cross cable's annoying. No sooner you... Oh, you mongrel. No sooner you release it, the other side clips in. There we go. Yeah, I think the computer cleaned itself, Copaz. And not being able to... Like, if you've got to disconnect some more things down here that you can't see, and you can't do that because the way... Okay, I might be able, should be able to just take this battery out, make it easier. Nope. Mic issues? Seriously? Might have been because I had my head way over there. Damn it, they're the speakers, you moron. Alright, we'll keep an eye on the chopping audio. It could be that the batteries are getting flat. CPU's only at 30%, so... What is that? Why can't I get this out? It's just stuck. Hey Steve K, top left corner. No, that's undone. That's undone. Keyboard's undone. That one's undone. Daughterboard is separate. Is there a... Better not be. Oh, I think I know. There's one under here. I remember now. Yep, there we go. Great place to put a screw. Directly under the fan controller block. Yeah, Steve Cave, the fridge is done. is DD, dead. Something took out the ADC port for the temperature sense. The SMC area is all botched up. That's going to be a real problem because I do not have SMCs here. If that SMC is damaged, then this will be a no fix. Or a long fix. No fix or long fix, they can choose. This is stuck with glue. Just heat that up a little bit. Alright, that's a little more than a little bit. And the fun thing is it's still not coming out. There we go. Hey, John Finn. Can't believe it. 1425. Well, the insulin will stay okay at room temperature, but only for a few weeks. Is that? Whereas when I put it into the insulin fridge, it will last me almost indefinitely. I almost see he only gets 4 units of insulin a day. That's 2 units twice a day. And when you realise that there's quite a lot of units in even a standard vial of insulin, you can see why I want it to last a long time. Because then I can go months without having to get a new vial, which saves me a bunch of money. What's wrong with 1534s? I don't mind 1534s. Oh, wait, sorry. My apology. I retract that statement. Belay that remark. Crikey. Let's set myself up for a disaster. Yeah, okay, here we go. SMC area is all botched up. The SMC might be okay, but the whole area is just a walking... Honestly, it looks like a graveyard. There's enough trash there to explain it going slow and nasty. And I need to take my glasses off. Can't believe I said I almost prefer the 1534. What a disaster. John revived it. I moved things around. Hopefully I have slightly better luck. Yeah, I'm always running on the very borderline, the very edge of stability on this machine. It is only an, what is it, i5 8400. And it's running purely off the Intel CPU, and it's got 3 displays on it. So it's doing pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, just looks like the SMC area is complete trash. Check the top side now. Bit of corrosion there. Ultrasonic bath should take care of that. No damage on the VRMs, thank goodness. But yes, it's a very strange design. You know, it's a good example of how some steps in evolution can be completely and utterly hideous and rapidly wiped out. Micro game. Yeah, I see it. I see the mic misbehaving then. It might be because it is up so high. I'm just going to change the batteries. Happy with the original version of this that I got. I've got to say I'm extraordinarily disappointed at how god awful the range is on this one. I mean, I don't know how they expect it to work over 100 meters or something like that. So I don't know what they've done with their design, but it's truly terrible. So we'll see how it goes. If it dips out again, then I know it's the range distance issue. If it doesn't, then I know it's the battery issue. Alright, just going to do some flux and boiling. So yeah, holler if the audio drops out on you again. Maybe a lot of replacement stuff going on here. Most of it's fluff. But there's going to be a couple of resistors here or something like that that are kind of broken free. I may have to reball the SMC. Okay, like this resistor here, that one's definitely going to have trouble. No, don't think I'll be watching Snyder Cut for a while. 4 hours of my life. I'm not. Yeah, that's a big ask for a movie I've already seen. I know it's better and different, but yeah, I don't think so. What's the board number on these things? What is it, an A20? What? It's probably under a sticker or something. Oh, Steve, the machine at the streaming machine just gave up. It locked me out. It was just like, I've had enough of this, man. I'm out of here. A bit of junk there, but it's not too bad. That'll come up alright in the ultrasonic. Okay, I can't find the 820 on this. I feel like a moron. And what I'll do to alleviate my moron status is go through and check a couple of board views and find the one that matches this board. $36.42, got it the first time. I was looking at it and I'm thinking I've never pulled up that number very often, so I'm going to guess it's that. And well, lucky me it was. Oh great, this is all back to front now. Let's So I'm just looking at what parts we've got that are a bit trashy, and this here, 5097, is the one of concern. Not really. I'm sure. Let's see. Goes into the SMC. Okay, it may slow things down because that's probably, what is it, sensing CPU div 2. So it's giving half the CPU I/O voltage. So maybe it feels like it's lower or higher than what it's expecting. It'll throttle accordingly. Alright, so the next stage I'm doing here is we just actually give this a scrub down with 8020. And that takes off all the flux and also gets rid of all that fluff and junk that's kind of obscuring the clarity of what we're trying to work on. Yeah, Mikro's fridge is no longer in play, just like my toothbrush is no longer in play. Come on, man, where's that toothbrush? Seriously. Have I used the toothbrush this stream? I don't think I have. Ah, there it is. No, this is an L. There's no Lewis Robin. Oh, Lewis, is there? Are you familiar with Nyan Cat? Isn't that the... what is it? Isn't that the flying cat toaster? Lewis is going to wonder what the hell I'm doing, fixing a 1425 for. Yes, the world is effed up. Lewis, look at the features you're missing now on Flexboard View. Look, I've got nice square pads, coloured pads, different parts with different, like resistors are black, caps are brown, diode stuff's blue. Yeah, it's a nice bling bling upgrade. Still, you don't repair anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, Pop-Tart cat, yeah. So what about it? Why do I need to know this? Anyway, we've got another resistor down there, I think that. Oh well, don't upgrade yet. Wait until I've got the next release. The next release will have the open board data stuff built into it. So don't stress yourself now. I know you're not, but I gotta make it sound like I care. When the next release comes out, the next big one, then I'm gonna force you to upgrade on that one. I think I'll get rid of this resistor. That's definitely 100% crap. There's going to be a lot of these crap resistors in this, and I may have to reflow the SMC. In fact, probably really should reball it, I'd say. Let's do that. Get it over and done with. Using the wrong tool. Where the hell's my Grim Reaper? Here it is. mongrel stuff. Some days it comes up, most days it does not. This stuff's like poorly set jelly. And when I try to get it to come up in one piece, it just wants to crumble away. What doesn't help is the bloody board is just jumping around. Come on. And you are out of here. Wait, whose wound am I rubbing salt into? People talk complicated stuff. So apparently I have to work out how to convince manufacturers that they don't need to be scared of offering board views because they're not going to actually lose their intellectual property. Particularly if they're, oh, this stuff is just crap. I can't get it up. Wait, that sounds really wrong. Damn sound bites. It's a 1425, what more do you expect? Really, how many different compounds did they use for this stuff? It doesn't majorly matter, but it'd be nice if it did sort of come off without... As soon as it gets to the point where you can work with it, it turns into more like jelly. You know, it doesn't have that midpoint. It's probably got to be the hardest edge bonding I've ever had to remove. See, and it cools straight back down to the point where I can't. Very frustrating. Someone's messaging me. Well, that'll have to do. Joseph Howard, thank you for... Yes, thank you for the contribution for the micro fridge. I am going to need that. Yeah, look at this. It's like there's a very small window where it's workable. Anyway, let's get the damn thing off. The Grim Reaper is just a typical iPhone repair tool. You get them anywhere. trouble with it still being stuck underneath is that I don't get it becomes more difficult to get the SMC off at the right time. Yeah, it actually looked like it was pretty clean underneath. But you can guarantee it, if I did not take that off, then I would send it back and it would be dead on arrival because of that. This is also another, be careful with these if you have these. They seem blunt to your hand, but they're disastrously sharp to the circuit board. What the? Okay, just give me a moment here. Do you need a new iPhone 5 screen? Question mark. If you do, they are $90 fitted, full stop. Couldn't quite tell what the person wanted from their message. I sort of have to restate things they may have actually stated themselves. What have I just done there? Sometimes people ask me for quotes based on the fact that they've got a screen, and I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. It's like, if you give me a screen to fit, the only thing I'm going to do is fit that into the rubbish bin. Do not fit third-party supplied stuff. It's always a disaster. Always. We'll be doing ball jobs on this one. What the? Alex Kim. Thank you very much, Alex, for the 49. I guess that's 50 actually. Thank you very much, Alex. Looks like we've pretty much got the replacement fridge coming. Yeah, the person just rejected the offer of the screen replacement. And that's kind of what I wanted as an outcome anyway. Okay, where the heck's my... I just better reply to him. No worries. What's this? Just wanted to get the phone done, as I can't do anything with the screen, but I can unlock it with the buttons, that's it. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. There's too much uncertainty in that whole job. It's like, I don't even know what they're asking now. Lewis, that's very insightful. You're learning how to repair MacBooks. Lewis, we're going to do a ball replacement job here using my methods. And yes, you're right, there's a bunch of nastiness on here. But I'm going to clear this up first. And I'm going to need some assistant hot air because I'm stupid and use the micro pencil. I very rarely use the normal tips anymore. Alright, there we go. Let's wick this up, Jester Jones style. Lewis has been a backseat driver. Alright, set that aside. Now we can work on this SMC. Yeah, it's a 1425, Lewis. It's a 3642 board. You should know that by looking at it. You should be able to smell it. It's good enough. Yeah, we have to get all that flux off though. We can't reball it like that. So I'm just going to take it out, rub it between my fingers with the alcohol, and also clean up all this trash in here. Otherwise, the reballing technique will not work. Okay. Set up 2 corner balls. We drop our air down to about 15, 10, about 340 on the temperature. We try to get our shakes under control. And there we go, pop. And we've got too many balls in our thingy. That's right, Lewis, we're going to do reball in the SMC 1 ball at a time. This is how professionals do it. Except when they lose their ball. Yeah, Lewis, I've already mentioned about how the battery, this has already started to puff up, so I'll get it so that the board functions, but beyond that, fortunately this is a business to business one, so they can explain to the customer why there is no replacement battery. Okay, crikey, where are my balls? Alright, and the way this works is that first I've got to get, damn it. that is just IPA. And while it's wet, we roll out our balls. And we can just rub them in. There we go. All our balls are in. We heat it up till we get to the first deformation. Basically, when it gets to the first deformation, it just means that the SMC itself is actually hot enough and ready to reflow with the balls. There goes. So it's starting to happen now. Just throw in a bit of flux and hopefully not too much of that damn hair. And I've pulled some balls out. I think I was the only one. Okay. And then we just do the full reflow. I think I've got my hot air temperature a little bit too low in this case. But anyway, by doing it this way, you don't get the problem with the spitting out from the flux. There are some other issues that you have to deal with, but overall it's a hell of a lot easier. Like every now and then, you know, they won't stick on properly like that. That's fixed. That one there is, I think it's got a bit of junk under it, that's a problem. Okay, it's stuck. They're all good. Lewis, they're jumping out because of the way I do it. Because I do the dry melt first, so that it's that's when I do the first deformation where their balls go slightly grey. And then once they've gone grey like that, you put on a bit of flux. And then you do the proper reflow. And I think the reason why it doesn't jump out is because the SMC is hot with the balls, that flux doesn't build up, it just wicks out to only just what it needs, rather than having big clumps of flux everywhere. Alright, that's perfect. What is stubborn? Alright. Okay, I'm going to change the audio mic. Crotch view that you don't get to see, thank God. I'd say it's a range issue. See if this is any better. Test. Okay. See how we go. Yeah, it's only giving me grief because of the fact that I moved the whole computer. Looking good. We're going to clean up everything else around this SMC and then we'll put that SMC back on. There's a lot of nasty stuff in there. Who murdered who? By the way, Lewis, have you seen that I've got a 4K camera thanks to Jim? So unfortunately I'm only doing high definition, but this is going through a $15 USB HDMI capture dongle on Linux. Color's all wrong, but yeah, it's really nice. 32 zoom. And unfortunately I can't capture it much better than this at the moment. I am looking at getting a Magewell capture card, but again it won't be 4K, it'll only be HD, but at least it'll be nicer. There was a wall of sound during the mic. Yeah, well, that's to be expected. And these are gnarly. We'll try to revive them, but chances are they're all just, most of them are just going to fall off. Gotta be careful I don't accidentally pick up a resistor. Easy enough to happen. That one there definitely has to go. The shoplift fridge thing has been done. Unfortunately, it was a failed microcontroller of which we have no access to, so we basically have to buy a new one, which is very annoying because everything else works just fine. I could redesign a circuit for it. Okay, let's just get rid of this now. Let's see if that pad comes back. Kind of getting there. Let's go check the phone. We still alive? I need to... I think what I might do is get a small extension, USB extension lead for the microphone. Oh, look at that. Check that out. That just broke clean out. The leg on that just clean detached. Shopler, you're right, it doesn't require anything really much, but if I was to repair this particular one to its former functionality, then of course I'm going to need the microcontroller. I mean, and yes, you're right, I could make up a very simple setup as well, but I did want to try and replicate and use what I already had there, because it also, you know, has all the battery backup system and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, you're right, I could make a very simple one, but I would prefer to make it as it was before. I don't always want to just go with the very simplest. Sometimes you want to go with what you had. Just like you could walk downtown, or you can catch a car or drive a car. Just because someone isn't chasing the simplest option doesn't mean that they're overthinking it. It just means they have opted to take some other option. Anyway, let's get this damn part off. No, they haven't over-engineered it. When you have a look at it, you'll see it. It's not over-engineered. The actual temperature sense and control part is very direct and simple. It's just everything else that comes with it, so you can set the temperatures and set the alarms and things like that. Personally, I just wish they'd used something more common, but it's to be expected that they didn't. Like an AVR would have been nice. And this is a real mess down here. Alright, so what was that part? Yeah, the battery backup's a nice thing, but again, that doesn't take a tremendous amount of complexity. I mean, you can get single cell chargers and management systems very cheaply. There's all of the functions except for the LCD display you could do without microcontrollers, but eventually when you start adding enough things it becomes easier to just go with a microcontroller. Right, so what are you? Q5030. Since I don't have a spare board for this, you're just a jelly bean MOSFET, but we'll see if we've got any similar around the place. Search, find a part. Search. Refrigeration. This is using a pelter. See, this is. I don't know why am I explaining this. Look, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a simple 12-volt pelter, and that's it. Okay, enough. Okay, so it's on a 3115, so we'll probably grab that. I think this is a 3115. Yeah, it's on a lot of things. Well, we only need the 3115. Down by... Okay, 3900. Let's see, microscope. No, I'm just occupied with stuff. Alright, so it's this one here. Man, my eyeballs and my camera are disagreeing at the moment. There we go. I do love the part find feature, and I'm not saying that simply because I wrote it. There's a lot of other things that I wrote on that software, but the part find feature is one that I routinely keep finding myself coming back to and being thankful for. Again, we need that resistor, but that was just a 100k resistor, I think. Yeah, plain old 100k 201. I've probably just got that around here somewhere. Yep. Cues, honestly, it's more for me than anything else. It's like, okay, it's great that other people can use it, but at the end of the day, when I'm sitting here trying to do these repairs, I'm the one that wanted it. And I think that's why, in general, most people are pretty happy with it. Because it's been built by people who actually use it. Now, that is a really crappy. It's okay, it's just the top. Yeah, look at this focus. I'm fighting with the focus today because my brain is always just a smidge off. And when I look back at the board through the microscope, I go, oh yeah, that looks better now. But I seem to be stopping short with my. There's so much junk around these. I'm stopping short with the focus when I'm winding it in. Okay, that is moving around, so we're going to take that off. This is one of the tests you can do to see if you've got a dodgy part, is you start reworking the end caps, and if it starts moving around, then you've probably got to get rid of it. Well, unfortunately the pad's still there and everything, but the part was definitely moving around a bit much for my liking. Oh yeah, sorry, CD. Yeah, I've had the house for a bit over a month now, but I'm still waiting for the ability to actually move into the greater portion of it. And then finally I can expand and be out of this chicken coop that I feel like I'm in. Alright, so what's this part that we got? Next vertical resistor across to the right. So it's that one there. Oh, bloody hell. 0 ohm. What a jip. Yeah, very, very happy to now be the owner of the house. It was, as you all knew, it was a significant burden on my mind. Yeah, there's a considerable amount of psychological relief when you do finally obtain something that someone's not going to kick you out of. Yeah, not that I was genuinely worried that we were going to get kicked out of here, but the fact that we've got all the fur kids and everything like that, and it would not have been easy to find another place that would accommodate them, and the fact that I run business at home and things like that. So yeah, finally getting that out of the way is a significant relief. Yeah, 5% precision, eh? Good thing I've got 1% ones. Yeah, choppers. This one's upside down, so it's going to be negative resistance. I know when I was first designing electronics, I used to wonder why on earth would people use 0 ohm resistors. That seems so stupid. To be young and naive again like that. Actually no, that would suck. But it is funny how you can, when you first get your exposure to something and you think it's dumb. Or I know when I first heard about board views and things, and I was thinking, why do you need board views for? The board's right there, and you've got the screen print. What on earth would you need a board view for? Oh goodness, wouldn't like to do without one now. I think we're about ready. So that's just a bit of greyish corrosion. It's not actually damage corrosion per se. Yeah, I think we're good to go. We'll put the SMC back on now. Justin C. 3437 changed DC in board because that corrosion of the flex cable was damaged. Now it works, but sometimes it doesn't see keyboard. Sometimes doesn't see keyboard. Yeah. I would say if the DCM board had corrosion on it, then there's probably corrosion elsewhere on that board. And that's what's playing silly buggers with your keyboard. Not guaranteed, but I wouldn't be surprised, put it that way. We've got to get rid of those little dregs of that edge bonding that is still hanging around, like here. Stuff like that, when you're trying to reflow the new one, can just ruin your day. Because the chip will get caught on it when it's trying to do that final sort of swim into place type move. And when it snags on that, it won't sit down properly, and you'll end up with an SMC that's sort of, well, yeah, it won't be very good. It'll have most of the balls connected, but then there'll be a couple that are not. Okay, that's looking better. Wait. A bit there hidden under that flux. Seriously, this edge bonding on this one is like no other edge bonding I've encountered. Yeah, Justin, you probably, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's probably going to end up faulting. Damn, we took a itty bitty little chip of, that's what I was talking about with that scraping tool there. Fortunately it is far away enough from those pads that hopefully it shouldn't cause drama. Famous last words, I know. Now, unlike Lewis, I do not like a great swimming pool of flux on my SMCs. I find they have a horrible tendency of drifting off otherwise. Alright, SMC, pin 1, bottom left, good. Yeah, that looks perfectly aligned, we'll just go with that. Hey, Steve married? Okay. Oh yeah, and also when I'm redoing SMCs, I tend to drop the air back a little bit. Particularly too that we've got leaded balls on this now, rather than lead-free. See how, even though I didn't have that much flux in there, because there was flux on the SMC and everything else, it combined together to form a fairly, yeah, that just kicked in a way I didn't like. That feels like it's off kilter. That genuinely feels off. It's weird. The top seems okay, but the bottom... well, everything seems okay. It must be just an optical illusion or something, because other than that horrible, horrible hairy mess under there, oh my goodness, I'm sorry I looked under there. I cannot see any problem with those balls. No, I think I'm just being paranoid. We'll put the chipmunk in, we'll see what our current comes up as. Come on, chipmunk, get in. There we go. Oh. Better set my voltages back since we were playing around with the pulter. Let's see, memory. That is a messed up MagSafe. Holy dooly, that's bad. Alright. Flame time. Okay, we already got a green blink. Oh, wait, no. Does the 1425 have a funny boot up? You know how the 34, 37... It seems to be running fine. It's blinking, so that's good. It's currently... You're about 12 hours... Almost 12 hours behind. It's 5:30 in the afternoon here. And L what? No what? I'm just kind of curious why I did that stalled start then. Maybe slightly too hot. That is possible. I didn't put it in the turbo cooler. I can't let go of this. The extractor will actually pull the whole board up there. There we go. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, it hasn't done it yet. My god, it seems like it might have just been a bit warm still. We hope. I guess it's one of those things we'll... Wait, no. That's not good. I do wonder if it's a bad MagSafe though. You should have a look at this MagSafe, it's terrible. Now look at that poor thing. Being burned to a crisp. Surprised it makes any contact at all. Yeah, the geckos are laughing at me. Now that is a seriously messed up couple of pins there. Got a thumbs down already, must be my fan base. Probably Lewis. He doesn't know how to express himself properly, so he just thumbs downs. Well, there's no question about it, this MagSafe is truly terrible. Oh boy, now we've got nothing. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think the MagSafe is dead. By cleaning it, we killed it. Brilliant. Mind you, it is drawing something. But it could be whatever the magnetics are or whatever inside there. Just warm it up a little. Yep, Sudi, that's pretty much the way to sum it up. Yeah, the dirt was holding it together. I hate it when that happens. Now I've got to go and find a 1425 MagSafe. I mean, I do not have those around. Yep, we killed the MagSafe. Yeah. Oh well. Well, that's okay. I'll just order one on Monday, but yeah, definitely there was something not right in there. At least I hope that's going to be the case, because it's going to really suck if I order a MagSafe and then it arrives the next day and it turns out that it's still misbehaving. Can't believe I don't have another. Actually, no, I totally can believe I don't have another 1425. I wouldn't even know how to dodgy jump this one. So what I'll do is I'll put the board through the ultrasonic, of course. Hopefully it'll be alright. So we're kind of hedging our bets here a little bit. Alright then. Have you tried actuating the pins? What do you mean by that? You mean like give them a good poke? Oh, jeez. Running into everything there. I mean, look at these poor things. Yeah, it was working when you sent it in too, right? Right. That one there's taken a hit. Looks like something accidentally hit there too. Nope, it's dead. Alright, well, we got the SMC fixed, and well, at least we hope. We do know it does fire up, but definitely it would seem highly likely that this MagSafe is having a cactus life now. So we'll get another one and see how we go from there. Anyway, I am out of here. Time to go do some mowing in the backyard, because that's what you got to do when you own a piece of land and the grass grows and all that sort of stuff. You don't want snakes running around too much. So I'll go get my exercise, since I've been sitting around here like a fat lump for too long. And in the meantime, you'll take care, and I'll see you later.